You think the Commonwealth looks bad? You should see the Capitol wasted.
Proctor Ingram?
Looks like the Mark 28s are gonna do the trick. That was a good find.
I'll work with your team to make sure that the Mark 28 nukes remain stable when loaded into his bomb pack. Shouldn't take us more than a day or so.
Well, Professor, I have to admit, we couldn't have done this without you.
I appreciate the confidence, but I'm still a bit concerned. We haven't fully thrown the switch on Liberty Prime, and I'm just hoping all the work I've done to keep his systems stable is going to hold.
I have full confidence in the abilities of everyone here.
I appreciate that.
Proctor, all the readouts look green. I think it's time for you to activate the power transfer.
Actually, I think I'm gonna let you press the button. After all, without your help, we'd still be staring at a pile of disassembled parts.
I'm in total agreement with Proctor Ingram. The honor should belong to you.
Liberty Prime, back online.
Right. Let's run a basic diagnostic on him.
Diagnostic command accepted.
Give him a moment. He needs to adjust to his new configuration.
Voice module online. Audio functionality test initialized. Designation: Liberty Prime Mark II. Mission: the liberation of Anchorage, Alaska. Primary targets: any and all red Chinese invaders.
Now let me run a system analysis of the battle readiness check.
Liberty Prime, full system analysis. All systems nominal. Weapons hot. Warning: nuclear weapon payload depleted. Reload required. Warning: power core offline. Running on external power only. Core restart recommended. Ability to repel red Chinese invaders compromised.
Got green lights across the board here. He's looking good from where I'm sitting. Professor, if you wouldn't mind keeping an eye on the big guy here, I'd appreciate it. Well, I have to admit, I wasn't sure we'd be able to pull it off, but Liberty Prime's looking pretty good.
With him on our side, I don't see how the Institute even stands a chance.
I couldn't agree with you more. Before you head off to your next assignment, I have something for you. I came up with this little beauty myself. I think it'll add a bit more punch to your power armor.
Damn! I didn't get anything for you.
Oh, sure you did. It's that big metal behemoth standing over there. Anyway, that's enough of that. You better hightail it up to the Pridwin. Elder Maxson said he needed to speak to you as soon as you were done here. And thank you, Knight. Without you, none of this would have been possible.
Sense with the plastic face.
Is there anything you wish to tell me, Knight?
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
I find your ignorance awfully convenient. Proctor Quinlan completed the decryption of the data you retrieved from the Institute. A portion of his findings included a list of synths that went missing or escaped from their underground facility. After careful analysis of the information, we've discovered something unprecedented. Paladin Dance is a perfect match for one of the synths on that list.
That's impossible.
I'm afraid not. The evidence is quite damning. The data you brought back included a record of each subject's DNA. We keep the same information on file for all of our soldiers. Paladin Dance's DNA is a perfect match for a synth they called M797. To make matters worse, he's gone AWOL. Disappeared without a trace. His sudden absence simply reinforces our conclusion that M797 and Paladin Dance are one and the same. I'm finding it difficult to believe that he never confided in you, and then swore you to secrecy.
You have to believe me. He never told me he was a synth.
I suspect you're saying exactly what I want to hear, Knight. Do you wish to try again?
After everything I've achieved, why would I jeopardize my position here?
Because you never expected this information to see the light of day. Now tell me the truth, before I have you thrown over the side of the Pridwin.
Has it ever occurred to you that Dance might not be aware of his own identity?
No, it had not. However, even if that were true, Dance still represents a clear and present danger to us all. Your sincerity in this matter has been rather surprising. Apparently, I've misjudged you, which means I've decided to take you at your word. However, that doesn't absolve you of your duty. Dance is a synth. He represents everything we hate, a monstrosity of technology. Our mission in the Commonwealth is clear. The Institute and its creations need to be destroyed in order to preserve our future, which leaves me facing the most difficult order I've ever given. I'm ordering you to hunt down Dance and execute him.
I won't do it. Dance deserves a chance to explain himself.
You will do it. This is not up for judgment or debate. I'm giving you a direct order, Knight, and I expect you to follow it without question. Listen, I'm not blind to the fact that Dance was your mentor, and this isn't an easy burden to bear. But if we're to remain strong, we can't afford to make exceptions. Even when it means executing one of our own. Find Proctor Quinlan. He's been analyzing the data and should be able to provide you with a starting point. And Knight, there's a promotion for you riding on the results of these orders. So don't disappoint me. You're dismissed.
Attention. Delta Team Lead, report to the bridge. Delta Team Lead to the bridge.
Oh, Knight. I was told you were coming. Sorry about this business with Dance.
I don't need apologies. I need to know where he is.
Yes, you're quite right. I've been poring over Dance's duty reports, and unfortunately, I haven't found any concrete information. As you're well aware, Dance had intimate knowledge of the Commonwealth, and I'm afraid he could be seeking refuge anywhere. I think our best approach would be to identify every location he's ever visited and eliminate them as possibilities one by one. You may want to get comfortable. This could take quite a bit of...
What the hell is this crap about Dance being a synth?
I assume your outburst was a reference to some doubt regarding Dance's identity. I can assure you that my findings are quite accurate, Scribe.
So he sets Dance up, and then you knock him down. Is that it?
How did you hear about it?
There are no secrets in the Brotherhood. Maxon's made it clear that we're to locate Paladin Dance, and if we find him, report his location to you. That can only mean you've been sent to hunt him down.
Orders are orders.
Orders are orders? That's all you have to say? I can't believe that after everything Paladin Dance did for you, you're just gonna turn your back on him like this. There's obviously been a mistake, and we need to get to the bottom of it.
Scribe Halen, you're addressing a senior officer, and you will show him the respect that he's due. Or so help me, I'll have you brought up on charges. Now, unless you're here with information that can assist us, I suggest you return to the police station immediately.
Of course. My apologies, Proctor. I believe I have some information that's relevant to the search.
Very well then. Would you care to enlighten us? Or do we have to wait until you decide to grace us with your knowledge?
Knight, if you'd accompany me to the flight deck, I'd like to show you the information I've compiled firsthand. I've stored the data on my Vertibird gunship's computer.
I'll take anything that gets me closer to finding Dance.
Yes, sir.
Proceed, Knight. I'll continue doing my research here.
If you'll follow me, sir.
Excuse me, Scribe Halen.
Do you actually plan on killing Paladin Dance?
That's a risky question, Halen.
I know it is, but I need you to listen to me for a minute. I've known Paladin Dance ever since I was an initiate. He trained me, showed me the ropes, and when I screwed up, he taught me to dust myself off and move on. He's earned my admiration, my respect, and my friendship. I don't care what Quinlan's report says. I don't care if he's a machine or not. He's still Dance.
That's a bold statement.
It's more than just a statement. It's a plea. Dance is the most selfless person I've ever met. I've watched him risk his own life based on nothing more than principle alone. That's why I'm asking you. Not just as a member of the Brotherhood, but as a human being. Give him a chance. Let him tell his side of the story. If you're not convinced by what he says, or somehow he's become truly lost to us, then you do what you have to do.
All right, I'll hear him out.
That's all that I ask. I'll just have to trust that when the time comes, you'll do the right thing. Before the Pribwin showed up, Dance had me identify a fallback point if we ever lost the police station. It was Listening Post Bravo, an old pre-war US military outpost on the northern frontier of the Commonwealth. It's isolated, and we're the only ones that knew about it. So, there's a good chance that's where he's headed. Just be careful. There's no telling what state of mind he's in right now, or if he trusts any of us at all.
going down. Please stand clear.
I'm not surprised Maxon sent you. He never liked to do the dirty work himself.
I don't understand what's going on, Dance.
Believe me, this is more of a shock to me than it is to you. I didn't know. Until Quinlan got that list decoded, I thought synths were the enemy. I never expected to hear that I was one of them. If it wasn't for Halen, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. So, what are your orders? Does Maxon even want me alive?
Of course not. Synths are the enemy, remember?
All too well. Look, I'm not blind to the fact that we're good friends, and this must be very difficult for you. I wish Maxon had sent someone else, but that doesn't change a thing. I'm a synth, which means I need to be destroyed. If you disobey your orders, you're not only betraying Maxon, you're betraying the Brotherhood of Steel and everything it stands for. Synths can't be trusted. Machines were never meant to make their own decisions. They need to be controlled. Technology that's run amok is what brought the entire world to its knees, and humanity to the brink of extinction. I need to be the example, not the exception.
If you really feel that way, why did you run in the first place?
The moment I learned the truth, I knew my life was in danger. I'm a soldier, so self-preservation kicked in. I needed to regroup and assess the situation. Once I got here, and I had some time to think, I realized I'd just made everything worse. I should have stayed on the Prydwen and accepted the inevitable. Like I said, I need to be the example, not the exception.
The empathy that you're showing me, it's a human emotion.
I appreciate what you're trying to do, but I've made my decision. I'm ready to accept the consequences of my true identity. Maxon's ordered you to execute me, and I'll be damned if I'm going to stand in your way.
No, I won't do it, Dance.
I can't believe you'd risk your life just to keep me alive. Why would you do that for me?
I've already lost my family. I don't want to lose my friend.
You're right. How could I have been so blind? I should consider how my death might affect the people that care about me. People like you and Halen. Perhaps now that you've opened my eyes, I can consider my next move.
Whatever you decide to do, I've got your back.
Thank you, my friend. But I have my own path to follow. The only clear choice is for me to leave the Commonwealth. The sooner I make for the border, the sooner I put this behind me. Take my holotags. Use them to prove that your mission was a success, or Maxon will just send someone else to hunt me down. Now, come on. Let's get the hell out of here.
going up. Ground floor.
How dare you betray the Brotherhood?
It's not his fault. It's mine.
I'll deal with you in a moment. Knight, why has this thing not been destroyed?
He's still alive. Because you're wrong about him.
Him! Dance isn't a man. It's a machine. An automaton created by the Institute. It wasn't born from the womb of a loving mother. It was grown within the cold confines of a laboratory. Flesh is flesh. Machine is machine. The two were never meant to intertwine. By attempting to play God, the Institute has taken the sanctity of human life and corrupted it beyond measure.
After all I've done for the Brotherhood, all the blood I've spilled in our name, how can you say that about me?
You're the physical embodiment of what we hate most. Technology that's gone too far. Look around you, Dance. Look at the scorched earth and the bones that litter the wasteland. Millions, perhaps even billions, died because science outpaced man's restraint. They called it a new frontier and pushing the envelope, completely disregarding the repercussions. Can't you see the same thing is happening again? You're a single bomb in an arsenal of thousands, preparing to lay waste to what's left of mankind.
You're comparing Dance to a nuclear bomb?
This machine might not be a bomb, but its goal is exactly the same. Place it where you want the damage done, and when you least expect it, it delivers a lethal blow without warning and without mercy. A precision strike delivered right at the heart of the enemy. How can you trust the word of a machine that thinks it's alive? A machine that's had its mind erased, its thoughts programmed, its very soul manufactured. Those ethics that it's striving to champion aren't even its own. They were artificially inserted in an attempt to have it blend into society.
It's true. I was built within the confines of a laboratory, and some of my memories aren't my own. But when I saw my brothers dying at my feet, I felt sorrow. When I defeated an enemy of the Brotherhood, I felt pride. And when I heard your speech about saving the Commonwealth, I felt hope. Don't you understand? I thought I was human, Arthur. From the moment I was taken in by the Brotherhood, I've done absolutely nothing to betray your trust, and I never will.
It's too late for that now. The Institute has foolishly chosen to grant you life. You simply should not exist. I don't intend to debate this any longer. My orders stand.
It's all right. We did our best. You convinced me that I was wrong to be ashamed of my true identity, and I thank you for it. Whatever you decide. Know that I'm going to my grave with no anger and no regrets.
Touching. Either you execute Dance, or I will, Knight. The choice is yours.
After all the sacrifices I've made, and all the battles I've fought for the Brotherhood, you need to listen to me. You owe me that much.
Very well. I'm listening.
Just listen to me. If I've earned any of your trust or respect while I've served with the Brotherhood, then I'd gladly trade it to keep Dance alive.
This machine isn't worth sacrificing the goodwill you've earned with the Brotherhood. He's your enemy.
Whether he's human or not, Dance saved the lives of countless Brotherhood soldiers. Now it's time you saved his.
Dance was merely following the rules set up in its programming. To mimic a Brotherhood soldier. A real soldier's bravery comes from within. From his heart and his soul.
Is it too late to change my mind?
Of course not, Knight. I realize this is difficult for you. So I'm willing to forgive your previous insubordination. Now either you execute Dance, or I will.
she dies, what happens to me?
Given the circumstances, I'd be willing to overlook this lapse in judgment. The fact that Dance's true nature was hidden from you isn't your fault. Now make your decision, or I will.
For the good of the Brotherhood, he needs to die.
Finally, you've come to your senses. You may proceed, Knight. Done the right...
Sir.
You've done the right thing, Knight.
It's done. Let's move on now.
Agreed. I'm returning to the Pridwin, Knight. Take some time. Say your goodbyes. And then I expect to see you there. We still have the Institute to deal with.
Reporting is ordered, Elder.
Welcome back, Knight. I'm pleased to see that the incident at Listening Post Bravo hasn't shaken your spirit. We're poised on the brink of war with the Institute. And I can't afford to have anyone on my staff distracted by their personal feelings. Of course, Dance's execution creates a missing link in our chain of command. That traitor held quite an important position with us. I'm certain that you'll make a fine replacement. His quarters and all his possessions are now yours, including his personal suit of power armor. Congratulations, Paladin.
I won't disappoint you, Elder.
Had I even a single doubt in my mind, I wouldn't have awarded you the promotion. Just be aware that a Brotherhood Paladin is expected to be a symbol of integrity to our brothers and sisters. I trust you won't disappoint them, or disappoint me. In any event, we still have the Institute to contend with, and a lot of work to do before we can begin our final assault. While the finishing touches are being put onto Liberty Prime, Captain Kells has identified a potential threat to our operations. Report to him immediately for your next assignment. Ad Victoriam, Paladin.
Control system is all reporting back nominal.
Ah, Paladin. Good. Now that the unfortunate matter regarding Dance has been settled, we can return to our primary mission.
I'm ready, Captain.
Good, because this mission demands your full attention. Now, Before we launch our attack on the Institute, we need to address another threat. The Railroad. They're a small but capable group that uses subterfuge and guerrilla tactics to harass their enemies. Our tactical analysis says they could possibly hamper or harm our operations, which is a risk I'm not willing to take. If we strike them now, we should be able to maximize the amount of damage we do to their organization.
Hit them before they hit us? I like it.
Precisely. Destroying the Railroad hinges on completely eliminating their leadership. Otherwise, they'll simply regroup somewhere else. To that end, here's a list of the 5 targets we believe would cause a catastrophic failure in their chain of command.
Consider it done.
Thank you, Paladin. Now, before you depart, Proctor Ingram has additional orders for you to complete.
Our sources tell us that the Railroad has some sort of experimental or prototype robot in their headquarters. They're calling it the Predictive Analytic Machine, or PAM for short. Cute, huh? They use the robot for complex strategic calculations that are much more efficient than anything we can generate here. If you could use this holotape to decrypt the security on PAM's terminal, it will force the unit to return to the Prydwen. I'm certain we could put PAM's computing power to good use. Otherwise, destroy it. We wouldn't want it to fall into the Institute's hands.
Anything useful you can tell me about Pam?
We have very little information on it. Its primary function is supposed to be using mathematical calculations in order to predict future events. I have no idea how successful it was, but if the Railroad's been using PAM for this long, it's got to be providing them with some sort of benefit. I'm sure Proctor Quinlan would be pleased to have it in his possession.
I think that should be sufficient information to assist you on the mission, Paladin. When you're ready, proceed to the Old North Church and link up with our assault team. They'll provide demolition support and all the firepower you'll need to take the Railroad down. Ad Victoriam, Paladin.
If you find anything interesting in the Railroad headquarters...
Recon report. Knight Wagner recording. It appears the intel claiming the old CIT ruins house an entrance to the Institute was incorrect. Your promotion was well-deserved, Paladin. My scouts and I spent days combing the location for a way in and turned up nothing, other than a couple of minor casualties. When a contingent of synths boxed us into an old tunnel where we were sniffing around. My immediate recommendation would be to follow the trail back on whoever provided that intel. I suspect some wastelander is feeding Proctor Quinlan lies to earn some caps.
Let's do this.
Weapons cold. Detonation pack secured and ready, sir. Damn it! Where'd you go?
Something's out there. Let's do this.
Programming instructions. Recommend interface. Type RJ11G.
There we go.
appears that the railroad won't be a hindrance to our future operations.
Those sympathizers deserved exactly what they got.
That they did. I'm also pleased you managed to secure Pam, rather than allow it to be destroyed. We are having it brought to the Pridwin, where it will be installed in Proctor Quinlan's office. It's an amazing piece of pre-war technology that should prove to be quite beneficial to us. Speaking of pre-war technology, Proctor Ingram is putting the final touches on Liberty Prime and requires your assistance. Congratulations on another successful mission, Paladin. Ad Victoriam. I have another assignment for you, Paladin. Virgil. As long as that abomination lives, he's a threat to the Brotherhood. The time has come to deal with him.
I'll take care of it, Captain.
Thank you, Paladin. Dismissed.
Lancer Captain Kells is one of the finest officers I've ever had the pleasure of serving.
You believe synths are replacing humans with attack methods? I'm sick.
Attention! Any soldiers who have not yet received a field assignment from Proctor Tegan should speak to him at once. That is all.
There's a vertibird waiting to take you to mass fusion, Paladin.
Glad to see you returned safely from the Institute. Picking on a death claw without backup.
Excuse me,
Great
Proctor
way to get
Ingram.
yourself
You
killed.
look like you've been through the ringer, Paladin. Can't say that I blame you. That was a hell of a business with Dance. Can't even imagine having to look him in the face and pull the trigger.
Honestly, I'd prefer not to talk about it.
I hear you loud and clear, Paladin. Anyway, we need to move on to more important things now. Like getting Liberty Prime off of life support. We've been feeding him power through the Pridwin's engines, but there isn't nearly enough juice to cold start his fusion reactor. That's why we need you to find us a beryllium agitator.
And I'm betting you know right where to find it.
Of course I do. I didn't become head of ship maintenance just because of my good looks, you know? Quinlan dug up some dirt on a company called Mass Fusion. They were a power utility company before the world went belly up. The CEO was some kind of an inventor. Dreamed up all sorts of nuclear power toys. The agitator was his crown jewel. Records show he was working on it in his lab at the top of their high-rise in the financial district. That's where we're headed. Hope you don't mind a little company, because I'm coming with you.
It would be helpful if you tagged along.
I knew you'd see it my way. Kells has a vertibird on standby, waiting to drop us off on the roof of the mass fusion tower. Grab whatever gear you need and meet me on the flight deck. But don't take too long. If the Institute finds out the agitator's there, they'll do everything they can to keep it out of our hands.
You like getting shot? Never turn your back on a gunner. I prefer laser weapons myself.
Roger that, Scabbard. We have clearance for release. You might want to hang on, sir. The drop can be a little rough.
Never could get used to flying in these things.
Hostile target sighted on the roof, sir. Prepare to engage.
Damn synths, they're crawling all over the place. Send them out before we drop.
off the roof. You can bail out. We're in position. Go! Go!
See you on the roof, Paladin. You found the key card. Good. Now we can get that elevator running.
Going down.
Proctor.
Let's keep moving. We've got a lot of building to cover. There it is. Mass fusion's reactor. Don't make them like that anymore. Radiation levels are dangerously high in there. Let me know if you need any radiation protection. I'll communicate with you through their... intercom system, while I monitor everything from out here.
Now cycling airlock. Please wait. Initiating decontamination sequence. Decontamination complete. You may proceed.
The beryllium agitator should be in a port at the top of the reactor. The building security's
Security alert in the reactor chamber. Emergency lockdown initiated.
Proctor Ingram.
We must have struck a nerve.
Threat neutralized.
Proctor Ingram?
Glad to see you're still in one piece.
I wouldn't have made it without your help.
That's funny. I seem to remember having to talk you into letting me come along. Anyway, we shouldn't stand around here talking. We've got a lot of work to do. Well, this is it. Moment of truth. We've pre-programmed Liberty Prime's battle coordinates into his navigational. As soon as he's under his own power, he'll head straight for the Institute. Elder Maxon wants you to follow, and make sure he arrives at the CIT in one piece. I've checked every wire and every bolt on the big guy. All we need to do is plug in the agitator, start Prime's reactor, and cross our fingers.
this works, how long before Liberty Prime will be ready for battle?
The reaction should be almost instant. He'll be running under his own power in a matter of seconds. Look, I discussed it with Elder Maxon, and we think you should be the one who has the honor of starting Liberty Prime. Just plug the beryllium agitator into his reactor port, then head back down here and press the transfer button. Good luck, Paladin. Ad Victoriam.
There's plenty to fix aboard this ship. How did it ever get in such a state?
Fusion core reinitialized. Liberty Prime. Total system analysis. All systems nominal. Weapons hot. Mission: the destruction of any and all Chinese communists. Probability of Chinese victory: impossible.
Ad Victoriam!
Proceeding to target coordinates. Freedom is the sovereign right of every American. Democracy is non-negotiable. Certain unalienable rights. mission hindrance, 32%. Revised stratagem initiated. Aquatic transit protocol activated. Probability of mission hindrance, 0%. Democracy is truth. Communism is death. Anchorage will be liberated. Accessing dictionary database. Entry: communism. A form of government in which the state controls everything, and people are denied freedom. Classified as active war zone. Is a lie. Memorial site recognized. Patriotism subroutines engaged. Honoring the fallen is the duty of every red-blooded American. Accessing dictionary database. Entry: democracy. A form of government in which the leader is chosen by vote, and everyone has equal rights. Communism is a temporary setback on the road to freedom. I am Liberty Prime. I am America. Setback on the road to freedom. Will never fall to communist invasion. finished. Scanning defenses.
For victory! For the Brotherhood!
I need to report right now.
Keep those synths away from Prime, soldier!
Scanning results. Negative. Warning. Subterranean and Chinese compound detected. Obstruction depth 5 meters. Opposition. Stand. Rebel. And communism. Tactical assessment. Reach compound. Store democracy. Warning. All personnel should move to minimum safe distance. Embrace democracy, or you will be eradicated.
Target down.
Obstruction eliminated. Ground units initiate directive 7395. Destroy all communists.
Now, head inside and let's finish this.
Communism
Don't worry.
is the
We'll
very
see you inside.
definition
Good luck.
of failure. Keep your guard up.
The mission is proceeding as planned, Paladin. Well done. Our next target is the reactor. If anything tries to slow us down, I'm ordering you to destroy it. Man or machine. Once we reach our target, you'll need this. It's a fusion pulse charge. Attach it to the reactor, and it can be detonated remotely from a safe distance. It will be more than enough to annihilate the Institute in its entirety. Ingram, you're to remain here and teleport us out when the job is done. Get that thing working.
I've got this covered, Paladin. Get to that reactor.
Ad Victoriam, Paladin.
So, fan out. Threat neutralized.
Movement detected. You must be terminated. Done now, human.
located the reactor. It's accessible through the Advanced Systems Division. Only... the security override can only come from the Director's terminal. You'll need to access his quarters. Well done, Paladin. Looks like a path should be clear to the reactor. And I am happy to report that reinforcements have arrived.
Attention all personnel. Evacuation order issued. Authorization 1YR31. Please proceed to your assigned
Is someone
evacuation
present?
point. Thank you for your cooperation.
Hostile sensor reading detected.
I didn't expect to see you here. Fuming the Commonwealth.
Overactive sensors. Nothing more. You must die, human. It would appear my target has... Are you sure you want to do that?
Attention all personnel. Evacuation order issued. Authorization 1YR31. Please proceed to your assigned evacuation point. Thank you for your cooperation. Attention all personnel. Evacuation order issued. Authorization 1YR31. Please proceed to your assigned evacuation points. Thank you for your cooperation. Attention all personnel. Evacuation order issued. Authorization 1YR31. Please proceed to your assigned evacuation points. Thank you for your... Attention all personnel. Evacuation order issued. Please proceed to your assigned evacuation point. Thank you for your cooperation.
Stand by from us.
Is someone present?
What was that? Intruder alert! Area sweep, now.
Hostile sensor ready detected.
Standing down.
Good work, Paladin. I think...
Elder
Dr.
Maxon.
Ingram, do you copy? Our mission is complete. I need you to transport us out of here immediately. Time to go, Paladin. Dr. Ingram, it's time to teleport us out.
Sorry, Elder, I would, but... Well, this child showed up.
Don't leave
He
me
claims
here.
to be the
I want to
Paladin's
go with
son.
you. To your assigned evacuation points. Thank you for your cooperation.
You can come with me.
Really? Do you mean it?
Yes, I mean it.
I'm glad you were here to save me.
All right, Ingram. Fire it up.
Everything looks green. System's warmed up and ready to go if you are.
Attention all personnel.
Absolutely. Let's get out of here.
You got it, Paladin. I'm going to send you and Elder Maxon directly to the detonation site. I'll make sure the kid gets some new clothes and reaches the airport safely. When that reactor goes up, this place will be nothing but a smoking crater full of rubble. Should be quite a sight. Looks like your work here is done, Paladin.
I'm ready. Let's get out of here.
Attention all personnel. Evacuation order issued. Authorization 1YR31. Please proceed to your assigned evacuation points.
Dr. Ingram is assured you outside the blast radius. Press that button, and you not only defeat our enemy, you restore order and decency to the Commonwealth. It's time, Paladin. The Institute and their synth abominations must be eradicated.
I can feel it wash over me. The heat, the force, the radiation, the fear. It's the end of the world all over again. I close my eyes. I see my life before all of this. Before the bombs. Everything can change in an instant, and the future you plan for yourself shifts, whether or not you're ready. At some point, it happens to all of us. This wasn't the world I wanted, but it was the one I found myself in. The Commonwealth. My home. Ripped apart and put back together. I hoped I could find my family, cheat time, make us whole again. The way we were. But now I know. I know I can't go back. I know the world has changed. That the road ahead will be hard. This time, I'm ready. Because I know war. War never changes.
Excuse me, Elder Maxon.
You've done an exemplary job here, Paladin. Without your unwavering loyalty to our cause, this victory would never have been possible.
I did it for the people of the Commonwealth.
You truly have become one of us, brother. The Institute has been wiped clean from the face of our world. It's time we close this chapter on the Commonwealth and begin one anew.
I think we've done enough damage already.
This victory was but the beginning. We still have a long road ahead if we're to ensure the safety of the Commonwealth and her people. But this is neither the time nor the place to discuss it. Return to the Prydwen, and we'll decide what needs to be done. I'm too busy to speak right now.